All right, so your level of concern rests where right now, Monday before Super Bowl Sunday? Come on.
My level of concern is not playing from behind, getting the lead, scoring, not turning the ball over, all basic football stuff. But, Kyle Shanahan won't make the same mistake that the other two coaches, in my opinion, made, which was abandon the run. Like, he's going to run the ball. So we can't let them get ahead. So I think as long as our offense comes out and clicks, doesn't turn the ball over, and we score, and I'm not saying that that's easy to do against anyone or in the Super Bowl, but we've proven we can score against anybody. Look, Buffalo, in my opinion, and I think other people that are a lot smarter than me's opinion, was the toughest team we played. That offense was awesome. Josh Allen is a stud. I love Brock Purdy because he's a Big 12 guy and he's a great story, but he's not Josh Allen yet, and he is not Lamar Jackson yet. And we handled those two guys. Spagnuolo put together a plan that obviously all the guys trusted would work, and it did work. So we can handle him. Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk, Debo, obviously, are all prolific weapons. So slow those guys down, and I think we'll be fine. I think we match up pretty well. I think their interior line matches up, pretty good against our Chris Jones and things like that. So I think we'll get after him and make him be a great quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know what the Spagnuolo mind trick is. You're right that McCaffrey, I assume, will get more than 6 carries.
Yes.
In this game, as opposed to just 6 running back play calls for toting the rock in the AFC Championship game for the Ravens. That if I told you that before the game, you're like, oh, then Mahomes must have lit it up, and we've got to be up by at least 3-4 touchdowns for something like that to happen. I don't know how the hell that happened.
I don't know film and
right.
Scheme enough to understand what they did and what Spagnuolo dictated to the Ravens to do, but I know that they still could have attempted to run the ball a little bit more to try to establish it a little bit and not go to Lamar so quickly. I felt really good in that game going into it. I felt more confident going into the Baltimore game than I did the Bills game, to be honest with you. And I think winning at Buffalo was nothing against the Ravens and nothing against that atmosphere. But winning in Buffalo, I think, was a bigger win than even against the Ravens, given that it was even to the AFC, to the Super Bowl.
And how great was that moment? Because I know you love linemen more than most. When they take the shot of the suite, and we're all expecting to see Taylor Swift, and it's Jason Kelce without a shirt and a beer in his hand, just like a bear, just like yowling, like roaring like a bear, man. That was hilarious.
Great. I got to tell Jason at the Super Bowl last year, I've only met him twice, once when I was on their podcast here in Kansas City at the draft and they're at the Super Bowl. But I told him, like, man, there's nobody better than you. And you are a Kelce, and Kansas City loves Kelces. And this obviously was before all this stuff. And they're just a great family. They're great for communities. And I mean, they're just all world dudes. I mean, they're just all world guys. Look at that. I mean, I wish I could roll around like that without my shirt on.
Look at him with that beer. That beer looks like it's a mini can in his hand. You know what I mean?
He's a stud. Let me tell you a cool story about Jason and what a good guy he is.
Sure.
So I went up to him after the Super Bowl, and he was standing on the field watching the pageantry of the Chiefs win. And I had gotten down on the field, and he was standing there. And I debated whether to say something to him in that moment or not. But I felt like, well, there he is. And, I wanted to love him up a little bit and just say how much we love him. And it didn't go his way. And this and that. And that his always, a Kansas City, and as far as I was concerned. And told him great game and walked away. Well, then the documentary comes out that they were shooting. And I was like, holy crap. I walked up to him in this moment where the cameras were on him. He's mic'd up. I felt like a real turd. So then I saw him at his podcast, and I said, Jason, I got to apologize to you. Like, I realize now that was a documentary, going on, and I feel terrible that I interrupted that moment. And he said, buddy, you made that moment better. And I was like, that's a very nice thing to say to me, to make me feel better about kind of interrupting what potentially was going on in your world that I had no idea was going on. So I appreciated that. It just shows you what a good guy he is.
That podcast is the one that he and Travis did at the draft? That live one, you mean? That one?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I think the world of those guys. No doubt about it. The whole family. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.